world says, be strong like a lion, but Jesus shows that true power looks like a lamb. Learn what it means to truly trust. Welcome to the Sebcast, the home of the #1 network for your life. This is where we think more slowly, look more deeply, and discover how Jesus didn't just work back then, but is working now. Lamb. It's a soft word, almost too soft. If you're honest, it's not the image you choose when you think about power. No one says, be like a lamb, when they want to inspire you just before you run onto the field. We talk about lions, winning, dominating, controlling wild dogs. But in the Bible, God chose a lamb, and that's where the story started to turn. Exodus 12, Israel was trapped. No power, no way out. And God didn't say, work harder or fight smarter. He said, take a lamb, slaughter it, put the blood on the door. It's almost too simple, too strange, because it doesn't feel like a solution. It doesn't feel like action. But that night, something incredible happened. Judgment passed by, not because they were strong, but because there was a lamb. And here's the deep point. They're not just saved from Egypt. They were formed. Their identity didn't start with what they do, but with what was done for them. Fast forward. John the Baptist saw Jesus and said in John 1:29, look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And you can almost feel how strange it sounds, because no one was waiting for a lamb. We wait for someone who fixes things, someone who takes over, someone who shows how it should be done. But God shows something else. He shows himself, and he looks like a lamb. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. A lamb doesn't win in the way we understand. A lamb surrenders. A lamb is sacrificed. And yet, that's exactly how Jesus saved the world. Not through power, through love that is willing to suffer. Revelation 5 takes it even further. John heard of a lion, the kind of image we expect, but when he looked, he saw a lamb as if slain. In other words, the power of God doesn't look like control, it looks like self-sacrifice. And if that's true, it changes everything. It means power isn't always winning, but staying faithful. It means victory isn't dominating others, but giving yourself. It means life isn't about holding on to everything, but about learning to let go. And then, the turn that brings hope, the lamb didn't stay dead, the lamb rose. And ultimately, in Revelation 19, we don't just see a sacrifice, but a feast. A wedding banquet, the lamb at the center, not just as the one who was given, but as the one who invites. So here's the question that touches everything. What if your biggest problem isn't that you're not strong enough, but that you're trying to live like a lion in a world where God works like a lamb? Where are you trying to take control? Where God asks you to trust? In your work, your children, your future, your reputation. Choose one thing, just one, and today give it over, not passively, but deliberately, in prayer, in trust. Because here at SA Congregation we say, we are the #1 network for your life, where you live, work, and play. And that means we don't build our lives around performance, but around a person, the Lamb. And perhaps that's the most radical truth of all. The world says, be the lion. Jesus says, trust the Lamb. And maybe that's where life truly begins. Until tomorrow, take care.